Okay, we have now the new INFEKT EP. It is called VEGGIE Games. We've got an 8-tracker. Again, quite an extensive EP. Mr. INFEKT just seems to do everything apart from make an album. I think someone was saying it in the chat earlier. But yeah, we'd love that from you, Christian, if you're up for doing it. But here we have yet another extended play, putting the extended in extended play, dropping on Monster Cat. I think Veggie Friends was the last one, another quite extensive EP, I think at 9 tracks, but that was on Disciple. I think we should just crack on with it, kicking off with the opener here, which is called Beams. Finally, if you're watching on YouTube, if you're watching the recorded chopped up version of this, please do subscribe to the channel if you like bass music coverage, EDM coverage, everything of that sort. Subscribe, and like the video. It's free and it helps me out. And now, let's get on with it.
These are the patterns of invisible waves we use today for communications, radio waves, television waves, microwaves.
All the waves, fam.
It is called a laser.
Oi, oi. Oh, it's a squelcher. It's a squelcher. Oi. See, it's got little bits taking your attention in different directions as well, which is good. Not just a pure, trudger, one-dimensional. Like, it's got unpredictability to it. Oi, 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 oi. Yeah, a lot of metallic grunge going on here. A lot of squelchiness just kind of lying below, propping the track up. You love to hear it. Mate, those fucking hell. Big fan of them. You know, I'm not sat here saying it's like one of his most out there, ambitious, adventurous ideas, like just stacked with creativity, but there's a lot of good melodic play in there. The sound usage is fantastic, and I think from the off we're just getting, a kind of aesthetic here that perfectly mirrors what is in the artwork. I think it's a Safe Haven, Empty Stomach collaboration with all the imagery that we've got with this EP, the trailer, the artwork, etc. Yeah, just all coming together, that track, again without being one of his most just out there, adventurous kind of concepts, but all the melodic play, I think with a track like that is quite difficult to get right, but that is what it's giving it. It's swing and it's rhythm and it's flow, and I'm enjoying that a lot. Again, all that metallic kind of translucent grunge kind of propping it up and pushing it forward is fantastic, and I think there were some nice little cheeky vocal samples in there too. So yeah, just a pretty good introductory tune, I think, for the EP. Next up at track number 2 is Momentum. Mr. Big. Favourite thing to do with tofu, just eat it, eat the block of it like an apple. Just eat it like that. Oh. Oi. This is such an elevation and such a step up on what you'd usually associate with this kind of music. The swing again and the flow and the rhythm is just so on point. You just don't really get that much with this kind of rhythm or trench, whatever you want to call it. I mean, there's definitely an extent to which I think the heaviness here could have a bit more beef to it. It just sounds that little bit flatter compared with Beams that we had just now, but it's still pretty stodgy. Not too much more to say with that one beyond what I said already, but yeah, the flow I thought was pretty stand out for that track. The production maybe not quite as much. I feel like there's always potential with INFEKT to have like a super resonant metallic clangy sound, but done really well, as we got with Beams, the opener, but that wasn't quite achieved there, I don't think. I think there was more to be had for the general kind of layering of that sound. But yeah, some very nice metallic stuff, industrial stuff in there. repeated vocal sample was good. It's just got that bounce and that rhythm that is so infectious. Really good, kind of stodge and grunge about it that keeps me going back to so many tracks in his discography. Track number 3, which is the exact same time length as the one before. This one is called X-Ray, 2 minutes 45 again. Infectious. I like that. Infectious. Did I say infectious earlier? Is that what?
Here are powerful rays being given off.
Oi, 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 that fucked me up. That sound fucked me up. Wow. Okay, we're gonna do a little rewind on that biatch. Rewind, my selector.
Here are powerful rays being given off.
Oh, fuck me. Get the veggies in. It's not a veggie, but get your veggies in. Oh, mate. This one is salting me out. It is salting me out.
Radioactive.
Yeah, that is not only my favourite track of this EP so far, without question. Probably my favourite track from INFEKT in a fair while, actually. Maybe of the last half year to a year. He's been putting out quite a lot recently. But also, I can see this being one of my favourite tracks of the year overall, not going to lie. I mean, I've only heard it once, but there's just something about the way that robotic, lasery kind of sound just hits, and the variety that it goes through over the course of the track. Big fan of that. Track number 4 is called No Flex. Only track on the EP, over 3 minutes long. Let's get it. Good lord. Pardon me. Yeah, these are definitely some of my favourite INFEKT tracks ever. It's a little wibbly, old wobbly wobbler, isn't it? Let's be honest. This is really good so far, this EP, because it's showing variety. I must admit, I've sat through INFEKT EPs before and been like, a lot of these sound a bit too similar to me, but good variety here. Okay. I really like the deepness of these sounds that are being used. There's a lot of rubbery feel to them, do you know what I mean? Like yeah, I mean, I've talked a lot about flow so far with this EP, and that just took it to another level, I think. The rhythm, the bounce of the instrumental that we got there, fantastic note placement, really clever stuff. Yeah, just not that much, I don't think, to fault it with. Again, I think maybe a couple of moments where you wanted the sound to be a little bit more layered, a little bit thicker. Especially when the second drop comes in, I think there's a little bit of a gap between the heaviness kind of actualizing and making itself apparent, and when you think it's going to come in. And that's fine to do a little fake out, obviously, but the transition into the heaviness when it does get there, maybe not quite as full as you would want it to be. But the arrangement of sounds, the amount going on here, and just the fact that we're getting to this point in the EP and we're just getting, different stuff from him, track on track. It's always super impressive, I think, when someone can just do their aesthetic, if you will, for want of a better phrase, in lots of different styles and approaches, but still with the same genre kind of being the thing that is, pervading the EP, the project of music. So, yeah, impressive stuff. Good level of diversity so far, and we're only halfway through track-wise, because up next we have number 5, Play It Twice. We all know about this one. Trap arms, a couple of trap arms.
It's nice. Play it twice.
Oh, that little climbing bit. Oi. It's so rare that someone can just keep rhythm music interesting, and this does it in like a multitude of ways. The sound usage, the production quality, the arrangement, the varying up of the flow in certain moments. Like, he really does a lot to keep you locked in. Mate, stuff like this. Mate. I don't want to say there's like a definitive way of doing this style of music right. There isn't. I'm not saying that at all, but for me, this is exactly the potential of this kind of music. I mean, the ideas there, the drops, they're not the most they're pretty straightforward. They're just like, traveling in one direction for the most part, at least when each drop comes in. But, it's just got that unpredictability about it. The sound usage is so good. Again, just got that really clangy, deep, resonant, metallic sound that when most people do that, it just sounds a bit harsh and a bit jarring on the ear, owing a lot to the percussion choice. But here, it's just all down. It sounds complete, rounded off as an overall sound. And that's going to stand you in good stead when, again, the ideas can be a little bit one-dimensional, potentially, and a bit straightforward. He knows how to level up with this style of music. Next up, we have Tempest. More good vocal samples. Ugh. There's little percussive touches. This one feels a little bit more straightforward. We did get some, a succession of bangers coming before this, which is probably, aiding that thought a little bit. But yeah, this one is a little bit more ordinary, I think, for him. A little bit flatter in the production and the overall sound as well, I'd have to say. But that introduction was good with that vocal sample. Even when the drops are a little bit more ordinary and perhaps run-of-the-mill, you still got little things like that to give a track character. Oh. That sound, that main sound getting a little bit overbearing now, a little bit. It sounds like it's barking at me. The heaviness had more spice to give, I think. It drones on a little bit as it goes on with that main sound. Again, like, row. But yeah, even then, still good touches, percussive fills, vocal samples, just overall cartoonish character, just to elevate the fact that the heaviness here for him, and within the context of the EP, a little bit more ordinary. Just going to say, ideas-wise and production-wise. Penultimately, another around the 2-minute 40 mark. We've had a fair few of those, but this one is called Read Only. Oh. He knows how to craft those little motifs that he knows are going to get people going back. Do you know what I mean? These are the kind of things that people can sing at. I was waiting for another properly monstrous sound, just to take my attention a bit and throw me off guard, but don't have to look any longer. He knows what he's doing. What can I say? These sounds are gnarly. I'm scared that I'm gonna just keep repeating myself with the analysis of these tracks, but again, the flow, sensational, the willingness and the ambition just to vary it up with that and keep you locked in with the ideas, because again, some people might, I don't think it's the case with this one, but some people might still say, yeah, it's a bit, you know, straightforward, it's just going rap, but there's loads of moments there, loads of little flickers and touches where he keeps it really varied and on its feet. Yeah, another good track, and leading nicely into the closer, which is called Goop. Again, 2 minutes 40. He's got a little thing for that time length, hasn't he? I also like how he leaves a few seconds of silence at the end of each tune. Not many people do that anymore. It's just like cut off with like maybe half a second or a second of silence at the end. Doesn't leave you enough time to kind of digest the track that you've just heard, if you know what I mean. Bro, how many times have I paused it? How many times have I paused it? How many times have I paused it? Is it the third time or the fourth time? Okay. That looks a little bit more suggestive than I thought it would. Rewind on that biatch. Exactly. Really unexpected. Branching out again. Going beyond his usual aesthetic again. Never heard something this kind of refined and intricate and clean from him. When? Go off, veggie man. Moving on to rice cakes. Rice cakes are not a vegetable, but they're a healthy snack. Maybe a little bit processed, but not, you know, that much. So try them out. This is not an advert for Callow. I just like rice cakes. It just sounds really good. He's trying out a new thing, a different thing, again, outside of his usual design aesthetic, and it works really well. This is good fun. It's not a completely one-dimensional idea. Got spice to it, got juice, got flavour. And you know what else has flavour? Vegetables. Eat them. Getting some good feedback in the chat, and quite rightly, this is a very good EP. I'm enjoying it quite a bit. I said it before, but I've had a few INFEKT EP experiences where I've just been a little bit like, too many of these tracks sound way too similar. There's a lot of variety, a lot of diversity, experimentation with his sound, just a load of different ideas, some fantastic vocal sampling, fantastic flows and rhythms, levels of bounce that I haven't encountered with this style of music for quite a while, apart from with his music. Sometimes the ideas, yeah, they can be a little bit plain, a little bit flatter, and you're kind of like, this is a little bit superfluous maybe within this project, maybe didn't need it, kind of bulking up the EP or the collection of music that it's in and not really adding that much to the project. Yeah, we do get a little bit of that here, but it's far outweighed by the inventive stuff, the creative stuff, material giving the EP, and his discography overall, actually, if I'm being honest. More personality, more character, colour. That is definitely going to be up there, I think. Really enjoying where he takes his sound with this EP and just how ambitious he is with it. And I hope you enjoyed this video. For those watching on YouTube, again, please do subscribe, please do like the video. If you like EDM coverage, bass coverage, all that good stuff. It costs you nothing and it helps me out. So yeah, thank you very much for doing that, and I will see you in the next one, whatever that might be. Hi YouTube, bye YouTube. See ya.